G'day, my name's Stephen from Pari products, and I'm about to show you how to set up and commission a DR3. When receiving your DR3, it will come with a box. This box contains a power supply, so you can run the machine on 240, battery clips, so you can run it on a battery. This cable here hooks onto the power supply and then onto the DR3. Also comes with a Pari remote to run the drafter in manual. Also comes with a Racewell Auto Drafter handbook, as well as a beanie. When anchoring your drafter into place, you could either lift it from the eye bolts. There's two on each side. You can also lift it from underneath here if it's propped up, so you can get the forks underneath it. You just don't want to lift it from anywhere around here due to the load cells and the cradle being suspended from the top. So as you see, we've got our rods here. So we can use these to narrow up the entry for bigger or smaller animals. On the drafter we have lugs, so you can connect your gates to the front of the drafter for your lead up or lead in. We also have them on the side of the drafter. You can attach gates to these, connecting the power to the drafter. In my hands I have the 240 volt power supply and the cable that goes from the drafter to the power supply. First thing I'll do is grab the cable, unscrew the cap off the cable that's coming from the drafter, find the end that's going to plug into this cable that I have in my hand. As you see, there's two white dots. Line them up, push it on and screw till it's tight. Now I grab my power supply. As you see, it's got three sockets. This is for a different system, like if you're running macro stock tablet on the drafter, you'd use the extra ports, but in this case we're using the Gallagher. So all we need to worry about is using the number one socket. So unscrew the cap, grab the existing cable, line up the two dots, push on and screw up till it's tight. When done, plug into the wall. After connecting the power supply, you can either leave it on the ground here or use the plate with the two lugs and connect it to the side of your fence. If you're out in the field and you can't use mains on your drafter, you can use a battery. So we'll grab the battery clips, unscrew the lid, grab the connection on the drafter, line the two white dots, screw on till it's tight. Now grab your battery, put it in place, grab your alligator clips and clip it onto the terminals on the battery. The next thing to do is to grab your air hose from the compressor, plug it into the inlet valve that we have here on the turbo cleaner. When plugging this in, what happens is the air will go down this cylinder, all the dirty air, moisture and so forth will sit at the bottom, and all the clean air will shoot up the top through this elbow, through the filter system and then into the machine. What you can do is you can use this tap down below here underneath the turbo cleaner. You can turn this on and as you can see, it drops all the moisture that's been sitting inside this cylinder. The next step is to grab our scale. At the moment I've got a Gallagher scale, but you can use a true test or to Pari's own macro stock scale system. So with the Gallagher, I'll clip it onto its bracket, make sure it's nice and secure. I'll grab the 3 connections. This is a communications cable. If this is not plugged in, it will not auto draft. And of course your 2 load cell cables. First thing I would do is take the caps off the cables here. As you see, there's a wee notch. So what you do is you'll find the wee notch that's on the scale and then press it up and screw. Screw it till it's tight. Sure they're nice and tight. Next thing you'll do is you get your communications cable. You'll plug it in. And screw it in so that's nice and tight. When everything's nice and tight, you can turn your scale on. When you have your Gallagher scale hooked up to the drafter, make sure that the drafter's not on. You can turn your scale on. The reason for this is just a better handshake due to the fact that the drafter has never talked to the Gallagher before. The same goes with the True Test scale. You want to make sure that your drafter's off when you're connecting your True Test and turning it on. So now we'll talk about the functions that the drafter has. On top of the drafter here, you've got your gate button for your entry, your on and off, your auto manual button, your drafting, and your gate. You can also use those functions off the remote. So now it's time to turn on our drafter. After pressing the on and off button, you'll notice it will light up green. This means it's in manual mode. So now I can use the gate button to operate the entry. Now we move to the drafting switch. If I go left, the left draft gate opens, center to close it, and right to open up the right side, and then back to center to close it. Now we have the exit gate button. If I press this down, this opens up the exit gate. After setting the drafting parameters on your scale, it's time to click the manual off, auto on button. When you've clicked the button, you will notice that the button it will illuminate blue. This means it's an auto. You will receive a Racewell DR3 remote. This remote is a radio wave remote. You can work the machine in manual by pushing the buttons. So if I'm doing, say for instance, some dirty cleaning, I can use the machine in manual, so I can use the remote to control these functions. I can also put the machine into auto from the remote. Before we put the machine in automatic, we're going to adjust the eyes. So what I like to do, I like to have my front eye close on the back of the animal. These 2 eyes work as one. You can have them down for smaller animals, or on the top rail for bigger animals. As soon as I'm happy where my eyes are positioned, I can turn the machine into auto. As soon as we've got our auto drafter ready to go in automatic, an animal will walk in. So I'll trigger the eye, weight goes down. As you can see, the entry gate opens up, animal walks out, it resets. Same thing again, I'll put more of a weight down on it. As you see, the entry gate opens up, the drafting gate opens for that animal to be drafted. So that's an overview on how to set up a DR3. If you have any questions, just give us a call at Pari. We're happy to help.